My addiction to travel began when I was 7. My dad would plan road trips across America, Yellowstone, Dude Ranches, and swimming in the Great Salt Lake. When I turned 14, my dad decided we should fly to Europe. Europe, 9 countries, 21 days, Europe. Visiting Roman ruins I had read about in Latin class, sampling new foods, fondue, Wiener Schnitzel, and croissant. Oh, croissant. It was all an adventure, a very well-planned adventure. An adventure that broadened my love of travel beyond the U.S. borders. At age 18, I went with a bunch of Northwestern students to Wisconsin for an anti-Vietnam War campaign. That's where I met Jamie. This 6'4" gentle giant with an inquisitive mind about life experiences beyond his own. And an all-American swimmer, so he had a great body. We got married when I was 22. Point of clarification, 22 may sound young, but I am of the baby boomer generation. And yes, I know, I look younger than I am, but women got married young in those days. And also back then, girls, and we were referred to as girls, married young and were taught a good wife is an agreeable wife. Young women always traveled with a man, and the man took the lead in planning every trip. So with Jamie, I now had a ready-made traveling companion. He hadn't traveled much, so I was the worldly one because I had already been to 9 countries, 21 days. Every girl dreams about her honeymoon. Jamie wanted to surprise me. At our wedding, I asked him to at least tell me the climate conditions so I would know what to pack. I was thinking tropical. He said cold weather. Cold weather? It was August. As we left the wedding, I tossed my parka into my Volvo's trunk and we set off on our honeymoon. Turns out Jamie had not made any reservations, so on our wedding night, we could only find a room with twin beds. Very romantic. The next morning I asked, where are we going on our honeymoon? He pulled out a map of eastern United States and showed me that it was just 2 inches to drive to Cape Breton in Canada. Adding, 1 week should suffice if we average 500 miles per day. It's all back roads, so there won't be much traffic. 500 miles, back roads? I knew this was ridiculous, but I didn't say anything. I was in love. Remember a good wife, an agreeable wife? Luxurious honeymoon suites? No. Still poor graduate students, we bought used camping gear. We set up a camp at a beautiful overlook in Nova Scotia, not knowing that the Bay of Fundy is one of the windiest spots on earth. We had to lie spread eagle, but not on top of each other, but spread eagle so our tent would not blow away in the night. All the while I'm thinking, this isn't a honeymoon, this is a survival trip. The honeymoon was just the beginning of many travel misadventures. One of our trips to Europe, Jamie and I were looking for the $5 a night Hotel Rio near a Luxembourg train station. I noticed the street lamps had red light bulbs. Jamie joked, wouldn't it be funny if this were a red light district? I heard a man go, psst, 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 from the doorway. As he was propositioning me, Jamie was hit up by a well-dressed prostitute. We were almost arrested for solicitation and had to convince the police it was all our ignorance. On another trip, Jamie talked about how neat it would be to hike down an Alp. Our Swiss friends told him, it's a terrible idea. You have to plan the hike, be well-equipped, and go with a group. Jamie still wanted to do this. On our last day, we took 2 gondolas up an Alp. At 10,000 feet, Jamie bought a postcard map and said, this is all we need, let's go. Being a good wife, I followed him down the Alp. I did express concern when we had to hold on to a steel cable and dig our boots into the ice sheet to shinny down the stone cliff. He replied, the Swiss are so obsessed about safety. After hiking for several hours, a thunderstorm with fog, sleet, and hail broke out. We were crawling on our hands and knees to find the trail. I had been reading the book Alive, you know, about the Uruguayan soccer team who survived by dead teammates. I knew I'd get out, even if I had to cannibalize Jamie. By the time we reached the bottom of the Alp, the town was being evacuated for flooding, and we jumped on the last train. Now, lost baggage is part of traveling. At age 26, I lost Jamie, my trainer's spouse. Along the way, he was gone. Now, with a broken marriage, I felt like a total failure. I learned being a good wife, an agreeable wife, was not enough for a happily ever after life. I vowed that I could make my own happy life my way. But I had this hang-up. I was taught you had to travel with a man to protect you, so I thought my traveling days were over. What next? Now a divorcee, at age 26, I went to the University of Virginia for my PhD. There I worked with an anthropology professor who said I reminded him of Agatha Christie. Agatha Christie. I was flattered and astonished. I asked why. He explained that he had met Agatha Christie on a dig in Egypt, and she was fearless about traveling anywhere and everywhere in the world on her own. A light bulb came on. Now, it's an idea light bulb, not a red light bulb. I did not need a dad, a husband, or a man to travel. I, as a single woman, could travel on my own, like Agatha Christie, Margaret Mead, and Amelia Earhart, without the plane crash. After all, I had moved to Charlottesville. I could go anywhere. I asked travel agents, what's the farthest, weirdest, and cheapest place I can go for X amount of dollars? Trust me, my X amount of dollars wasn't much, and I only got 2 weeks vacation max. Travel was so much easier without my trainer spouse. Some of my bargain deals in the 1970s were the Dominican Republic right after a coup d'etat. Exchanging US dollars on the black market in Mexico. Bribing the Sandinistas for safe passageway back to the Costa Rican jungles. Istanbul during martial rule, where I felt very safe with tanks and soldiers with machine guns at every corner. And Romania. I think I'll skip the strip search in Romania. The military thought I must be CIA. Why else would a single woman visit their communist country known for its cruel dictator and human rights atrocities? I did all this by age 30, and I loved every minute of my travels except the strip search. I then discovered the best way to travel. Consult for airlines. Qantas provided my biggest lifestyle shift. All first-class travel, sleeper seats, caviar, and champagne. I have proven to myself, my Agatha Christie self, that I could go anywhere alone. At age 32, I married Jeffrey, my current hubby, my forever spouse. I established the rules, the travel rules. I planned our honeymoon and all our trips, including those early years with our baby in a backpack. Today, I have visited 48 states and more than 50 countries, sometimes on the cheap, sometimes in luxury, sometimes with family, and other times on my own. But always an adventure, and always venturing as far as I can go, and loving every minute of it. I'd like to share more with you, but I have a plane to catch